Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, or whatever else you are, welcome to Simon versus the Podcast, episode 4, I believe. I don't know. I am Simon, the host. I have Ethan with me.
I am Ethan, the distant cousin of Jordy Verrill, and I'm here with Simon and Sod. Hello.
And yeah, we have Sod, who we did not kick off after the last episode.
I'm still here, unfortunately.
So today's episode,
That's a deadpan boy.
Running down all 5 tales from the first Creepshow. And then my wife is, we'll get to it.
We'll get to it, yeah. Sean Astin's powerful performance. Yeah.
So Creepshow is a Romero film written by Stephen King. We got 5 different stories to talk about. It's based on a comic book. So yeah,
It's not based on a specific comic book, though. It's more inspired by, like, comic horror comics from the 50s. Like, I can, like, when I was watching, because, like, the movie has such a great look to it, I thought it was, like, actually based on some, like, directly adapting, like, these stories from, like, this actual comic book, but then I realized later on, oh, wait, it's actually not based on any pre-existing material.
I thought it could be, though. I thought too. I thought it was so great. I thought it could be
actually based on something, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. This is my pick, by the way, after 2025. Like, I figured we need like a pick-me-up of the 2025. We need to go something exciting, like you said, but a horror anthology. I thought it'd be interesting because there's like different stuff to talk about with each segment. It's like run through it from beginning to end, and yeah,
I picked Heather's. Sod picked 2025, and now this is Ethan's pick here.
Yep. And I did love this movie, so let's get.
Yeah, this movie it's really good. It's really good.
Yes.
It's great.
I'm so glad y'all loved it. It made me happy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like there was stuff here and there that I didn't care for, but there was so much good overall that I thought it was. Yeah. This opens with a kid, and it opens with this dad. This is how I would treat my kid if I caught him on TikTok. Just a straight right hand to the face.
Yeah. Thank God for dads, like he says. That's a great line. Thank God. That's why God made dads. Sorry. That's why God made dads. Yeah.
That's why God made dads. Dads are a very overarching theme. Yeah.
So we're going to mention that the dad is also played by Tom Atkins from Halloween 3.
Yes.
Yes, I mean, he looked very familiar. He's the guy in all the 80s movies. Yeah, 80s horror especially, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, he sends the little kid up to his room, and then we get this awesome stylized, like, animated comic book intro, and we get shown, he's not the Crypt Keeper. What is the name? Is he just the Creep?
Yeah, just the Creep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we get
I was just talking on my window at night.
He's like winking at the kid, and then we flip over to the comic book, and we get our first tale, Father's Day.
Father's Day.
It's a great like setup for this whole like anthology thing. Like a homage is like what it's like the era that it's obviously paying tribute to probably really, really, really well.
Yeah. The setup for Father's Day is Ed Harris of all people. He's with his new wife. And they're just discussing what happened in the past. So
basically this girl sorry, you go. You can explain it.
Well, I didn't really write much down. I was pretty enthralled. Like the first tale is not my favorite. It's actually my least favorite out of all of them.
Oh, okay.
It's my least favorite as well.
Oh wow.
It's definitely a good start, but I didn't have as much as the others, especially with how it kind of plays out with like 2 people getting killed basically in the same way.
Yeah, and then it just sort of ends, you know.
Doesn't have like a really good story progression. Just stuff that happens.
I do like the ghoul or
the zombie.
He just wants his cake.
Yeah. Well, Tom Savini kills it in this film. Like he always does, but
we'll get to him later as well.
He went hard. He went hard. This isn't even his best work in the first tale. Like he gets even better as the story goes on. But so the grumpy old bastard, he gets got by one of his daughters because he won't shut the heck up about cake.
You wanted cake on Father's Day.
Yeah. I've never had cake on Father's Day. Is that a thing in America?
I mean, yeah. I usually on Father's Day, it's usually cake. Yeah.
I don't have a
They're
dad, so I
exclusive
wouldn't
to the
know.
upper class.
The rich,
I mean,
like Ethan and.
No, it's not like my dad. My dad doesn't go like, "Give me my cake," but like. I also wrote some note about that dad. That's that's how my dad would be, but really not, thankfully, because I already killed him like she did.
So yeah, the daughter, what's her name?
I don't know.
It's so short that I didn't remember any of the characters' names aside from the
whatever. The chick who killed him, she gets killed by him when he rises from the grave. That actually kind of got me. That I was a little bit of a jump scare because I wasn't. I was like turning back to the TV because somebody texted me and it's like, "Pah!"
Was it me by any chance?
Maybe.
Okay. Me aside, probably, yeah.
Contributing to the experience of Creepshow.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote down once the father rises up from the grave, like the lighting on him, it's like kind of reoccurring. Like once the death is about happens, like red and blue on them. It's like looks so beautiful. I love that.
It does. It really pops. It really just pops out at you, and again, it adds that comic book look to the whole thing. Honestly, I would say this is probably like just going on the visuals here. It's probably the best looking comic book movie that's not actually based on a comic book.
Oh,
it does look fantastic.
I think it could be a comic book with these tales, like I said, these very short horror stories that have a setup, and it's it could be a comic book.
And even how the shots are framed as well, they do look like comic panels as well. So it just all adds to this great look that has lots of nostalgia and pays to this thing that clearly Romero and Stephen King were very passionate about and grew up with.
Yeah, and and there's a scene where Ed Harris's wife dancing to some 80s music, and I wrote down and the scene where Ed Harris's wife are dancing, it would have been amazing if they replaced that scene with Crispin Glover's dance in Friday the 13th Part 4 because
the greatest dance.
That
is still the greatest 80s horror dance.
Absolutely, that's what replace that. Crispin Glover's dancing.
Didn't Part 4 also have its own theme song?
No, that's just Part 6. That was the Alice Cooper song with Part 6. Yeah.
But and then after the dancing, Ed goes to investigate.
Which every shot in that scene is amazing. The way it's shot, every single shot in that scene is amazing. It's walk around the cemetery.
Yeah, it's good. Dead.
Yeah.
What do you have, dead air?
Yeah, just make some little timestamps for where you got to cut everything.
Yeah.
Ed Harris, he gets killed in uninspired fashion.
Probably the most drawn out way possible.
Oh yeah, because he's investigating for a solid 3 minutes straight almost.
And then he's laying in the
and then Zombie Cake Dad uses his telekinesis or whatever and crushes him with the headstone.
Yeah, but it's so drawn out, it moves a bit.
Yeah. So Zombie Dad, he kills the maid, and then he kills his other daughter, and then he just pops out of the kitchen with her head. I got my cake.
And a very distinct voice. He was like, "Oh God, I don't know how to do it." Obviously, a very dead, a very distinct voice that we can't do.
And then we get screaming, and then it ends.
Yeah. And then we get the comic book transition to the second tale kind of thing. Yeah.
So overall, a good setup for it. Though what I'm saying was drawn out. Actually, it's my third time watching this, so but I can't remember the last time I rewatched it. But during that, I forgot how we got killed. So it's okay, it's drawn on and on. I like that how it just kept drawing out and it just happened. Okay, it's kind of abruptly ended.
I'd probably give this one about a 3 out of 5. Honestly, I did like the ending and the visuals of it, but overall, it's just wasn't the because there's 4 other good tales here that
honestly
put this one to shame.
It pales in comparison to the other 4 here.
Yeah,
it's only my least favorite, but still good.
I would still say it's probably the best one to start with, though. It sort of like helps in setting that, like, again, tone.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Because we jump into Tale 2, which is the lonesome death of Jordy Verrill.
Here we go. Yes,
Stephen King himself, the best performance he's ever given. He goes hard in this.
Best performance in the whole movie.
It's so good. He can pull off a draw like very well. It's that hair.
He's about tied with Leslie in the third one because I liked seeing evil Leslie, but we'll get to that.
Oh yeah. Speaking his line delivery, it's like the very first few words he says. He goes, "That's a meteor. I'd be dead in shit that ain't a meteor." It's like then he says, "Meteor shit." It's so good. Stephen King in this. Where's his Oscar? I just want to know. It's like, give Stephen King his Oscar already.
Honestly, any like how he has his like cameo in like the later like It movies. Like he should have just showed up as his character from Creepshow.
Yes. Oh my god, tied in together. Yes. The return of Jordy Verrill. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And what else notes? Well, basically, he gets his hands in a meteor. Then he sees some like bubbly, like blister-looking shit on his fingers, and he puts it in his mouth. And then let's just say he gets grasped. He gets like flashbacks, like a doctor, like what's gonna happen? Like his fingers cut off.
Like when he brings the meteor in.
Yeah.
Well, not flashbacks.
Yeah.
What he's gonna.
Well,
do
they're like
the
imagination scenes.
Sorry, the imaginations. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like goes from I want $200 for this, and then the meteor splits in half, and then it just like keeps getting worse and worse, and that's a really great aspect to it as well. Being Stephen King as his character like deteriorating and his reaction as well.
Yeah.
And eventually, Jordy Verrill, he goes back into his house and he gets a beer and he puts on some wrestling. And that's not of you, Simon. Yes,
I actually know which match this is.
Of course
I also wrote down. Yeah,
it was Madison Square Garden. It's Bob Backlund defending his WWF championship. And honestly, it did sound like Vince McMahon himself was the commentator in this, but it could have been his dad too, But yeah, it definitely sounded like Vince's, "Oh, he goes up for the role."
I knew you had to say something about that. And you wrote down, maybe Simon and Jordy Verrill have a lot in common. I was like, maybe, I don't know, you and Jordy Verrill have a lot in common. It's like, oh, he gets a beer, puts up the wrestling. It's what Simon does on a Friday night.
Jordy.
Yeah.
It's Jordy Verrill. Yeah,
this one didn't take place in Maine. It took place right outside of Alberta.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be Alberta. It's a shop right here. Yeah.
I like the makeup on the green. I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, Stephen King. Actually, I looked at some trivia. He apparently had an allergic reaction to that. Apparently, I did that all like grass and whatnot. Yeah, he had an allergic reaction. It's bad.
You can blame Savini for that one, I guess.
I don't know. Yeah,
this movie has a lot of like people watching stuff on TV. There's a lot of TV watching going on.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in our next one, which we'll get to later on.
Commentary.
Yeah.
Oh, more TV. Yes. Oh yeah, more TV. Yeah.
Country Bumpkin Hicks love wrestling.
Yes, that's the great commentary. Yes. But people in Alberta love wrestling.
After that, we get preaching on TV, and I just wrote down we can't escape Jesus on this podcast.
No, we cannot. We certainly cannot at all. Can't give the Wesley brothers. But thank God in the 80s we didn't have the Wesley brothers. He's had his local Kirk Cameron growing pains. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So as segment 2 goes on and on, Stephen King gets more grass over him, and not just
gets more paranoid,
like farm, and it just starts growing, and it's
he gets really itchy, so he decides to take a bath. And then his dad appears in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Don't get in that water, Jordy. It's what the green wants."
And he looks at his dick. He's like, "Oh no, not there!" And I was like,
and he jumps in the water.
Oh yeah, yeah. it's definitely the most comedic of all the segments, but I love it because, like, if this happened to you, it would be horrifying. But honestly, it's like obviously these are completely ridiculous, but this happened to you. Like, think about the situation. It's obviously very scary to think about, but it's definitely the most comedic of all.
This is what King gets for writing that one part in It.
Oh,
or during the Shining 1997.
Oh, the Shining miniseries.
Yeah, that's what he gets. Yeah,
and then saying the movie is bad.
Kubrick's version. Yeah, pretty much.
I did like. I found it really funny, like some of the effects. Before he jumps in the water, he looks like a green Teen Wolf.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can get that.
When he's looking at the water, we get this cool little ripple effect and the shining off of the water. It looked really nice.
It looks so shiny. Like I would like swim and caress the water.
Were you gonna say you would throw yourself?
Throw yourself in the bathtub.
I swear, it looks so beautiful. I could draw myself.
Like, 13 reasons why.
It looks so beautiful.
Tapes and
yeah.
Yeah, and you'll do a Zachary type of documentary for me. It's like, dear Ethan, do a Zachary type of documentary for me. I know you'll do that for me.
But our boy Jordy, he jumps in the water. He accelerates the process. He comes out looking like Man-Thing.
Oh, speaking of drowning, it's actually funny to say drowning because there's some foreshadowing there of drowning, so that's cool.
Yeah. So then he looks like the Jolly Green Giant. He grabs the shotgun and he's like, please, God, just give me a little bit of luck this one time. And he blows his friggin' brains out, which is also a really cool effect.
But it's still dark and like
horror.
Even though this is still like the most comedic out of the 5 stories, like that ending is very much they all have
dark. Yeah, he gets so sad and gets like he's shooting stuff like he doesn't gets to go so naturally. Just like just does it.
And then after that,
the weeds start growing all over the place.
Yeah, the whole farm is consumed, and it's growing out on the highway, growing out to Boston, Philly,
and Castle Rock as well. Another Stephen King location.
Oh, you just can't escape that. But yeah, that's how Tale 2 ends. I really like Tale 2.
Of course, you get the lines like, I recorded to y'all texting you last night. It's like, Jordy Bill, you luckhead. It's like repeated lines. Yeah, love it. Great segment.
Then, we get another great transition into Tale 3.
Yes.
Something to tide you over.
Let me just say, this is my favorite segment in this whole movie. I love this one. With Leslie Nielsen, it's my favorite by far.
I really like this one too. Leslie Nielsen versus Ted Danson is like it's such a weird thing I never thought I'd see.
Leslie Nielsen is like intimidating like as all hell in this segment.
Oh yeah, he goes hard. It's weird seeing him do like something kind of serious because I've only ever really seen his comedic roles, but he did do like theater and serious roles before he was a comedian.
He was a serious actor like before
Forbidden Planet.
Yeah. And Naked Gun and all that. Like, he probably did Shakespeare or something like that at some point.
Yeah. You know what I do love about this movie? How the change from, like, segment 2 and 3 of the leads. First, you get Stephen King, who's known for, like, writing very, obviously, serious horror stories. He's seen as a serious like, guy or whatnot. He's, like, the complete opposite of that. And then Lonesome Death of Jordy Verrill. And then you get this segment, where it's Leslie Nielsen, who did like Airplane, who obviously would go on to do Naked Gun, but like he's still like a comedic like actor, you know. Then he's like the complete opposite. He's more serious and like intimidating this one. It's like how like drastically different roles they're playing. It's like complete opposites.
Also, the way he like kills out like the couple in this is like brutal.
It's like the most creative of all the segments here because. I think first of all, I think it's definitely either this or the cage is like the longest one, but it's like definitely the longer ones around them all.
Mm-hmm.
But this you're in the sand, you can't move, and you have
3 and 4 take up most of the runtime.
Yeah, and you're dehydrated, but it's like salt water. It's like crashing over you, having to hold your breath, Yeah, he explains. It's like he's Jigsaw. He's like explaining his plan to him and like, recording it all.
Down. He's like weird, comedic proto Jigsaw.
But yeah, basically, yeah. It's just, he's fantastic too. Even some he gets some slight bits of comedy. Like, I don't mean to go ahead, but like once he's back at his place, he says, he's looking at a tape. He's like, "If that maid is moving my stuff, I swear, ow." And he doesn't like finish his sentence. It's so funny. That's why he said everything's so great.
Also, the fact that he has like a shelf full of these tapes as well.
Yeah,
Darkly comedic.
And I did write down.
Really simple. Basically, he kills Ted Danson and his girlfriend, and then they come back. Because when he goes to get check on the bodies and stuff, he's like, the tide washed them out. Yes. The tide washed them out. And he's trying to convince himself, because the cord on the TV has been completely cut, almost like somebody chewed through it. And then there's a lot of Ted Danson staring at a bucket. Yeah.
And then opens with Ted Danson hearing Leslie Nelson at the door, and he answers. When Leslie Nelson responds, when Ted Danson is when he's intimidating Ted Danson, he says, "Don't call me Mister. You know damn well who I am." When he said, "Don't call me," if I was going to say, "Don't call me Shirley," like an airplane, like, "Oh, don't call me." It's like, "Oh, you're going to say, don't call me Shirley?" That was
Shirley,
you
must be kidding me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can hold my breath for a long fucking time. That was my favorite part. He just put so much into that, and then we get the comic book over, the comic book style over him saying that. I was like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, I love the music. It's after Ted Danson eventually drowns. There's this music. It's like blah blah. It's music. It's so perfect. It's what's happening right now. Everything is going on right now. Oh no, something's gonna happen again. It's just it's great 80s music. Yeah, love it.
Just the banter and the chemistry between Danson and Nielsen is actually pretty good. They work off each other really well.
Yeah,
it's some really good acting here, legitimately. Yeah, and this could be a whole movie, I guess a whole movie. I'd watch it.
Yeah,
if it got drawn out more.
If Tale 3 and Tale 4 were whole movies, I'd totally watch it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because both of these were the most fleshed out stories.
Yeah, in fact, the Joy Vero one, that was I guess more a comedy horror. I can see it.
That's a start of a movie.
Yeah, I'm not sure how long. Yeah.
Also, 2 and 5, they work really work better as extremely well as short stories. But yes. I could I agree. I could see 3 and 4 as full on features in sort of a way.
Absolutely, yeah. If 5 was any longer, I don't know how I'd feel about that, because everything that happens, we'll get to that, but
we'll get
not
to 5 eventually.
Yeah,
I think we will have the same thing to say about it.
I think we all just wrote down the same note.
Yeah, do we want to reveal it once we get to it?
Yeah, once we get to it,
we'll all say it at the same time.
It's probably very different from what y'all wrote down, but we'll see. I'm just interested in what y'all have to say about it.
About Tale 4?
5.
Oh, we'll get to
Tale 4 now.
Yeah, so Tale 4, the Crate.
Oh, okay.
My first note here was woman, huh? God, I hate him.
I knew you were going to say, once she's yapping her mouth, she would shut up. Yes.
Wilma, fuck off.
Him shooting all the fantasy.
I'm assuming this is also Sod's favorite.
Yes, it was my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought this was gonna be Simon's favorite. Yeah, I was like, I don't know. I had a feeling this was gonna be your favorite, because the amount of times he hates women, it's I can really relate to this.
I just like the build up to this one is really cool. We start at the party with the annoying woman, and then we get Harry has his fantasy scenes about killing his bitch wife.
Yes.
It's almost like Scorsese wrote this one. The wife.
Or E.T. Coen. Or E.T. Coen.
In Casino, you wanted scenes of Robert De Niro strangling Sharon Stone.
God, yes.
Yeah,
that's what we needed. That's what we needed.
Instant 5.
And at one point, she's not needed in the story at all. She's there to create drama. She was not needed at one point.
Mm-hmm. But with the crate, I like the setup to this. They're at the party. Professor, he gets the call from the janitor.
And he's found a crate.
Yeah, he found this crate that they discovered in like the Arctic in like 1834.
Away under the stairs.
Yeah, and who knows how long it's been there. Yeah. This one definitely feels like a Tales from the Crypt kind of thing.
But they all do feel like Tales from the Crypt.
But this one particularly, because just how it's kind of told and with how the characters are written. But I like this story better than anything Tales of the Crypt ever did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like this story in particular, The Crate. I wish this was a full-length film. Like, I really enjoyed this. It also has probably the most gore in it.
Yes.
Because Tom Savini kills it with the crate creature design.
I mean, this is like the one that is like the closest to like straight up monster horror out of like the 5 segments.
Yeah. So he gets there, they bring the crate out, they start unlocking it. The janitor's like, "Oh, Hatamadora, looks like there's an emerald in there." And he just rips his hand in there and he gets eaten. Like, he gets dragged into that crate.
And like, it's drawn out like in the best possible way, like unlike the tombstone thing in Tale 1. Just like he's got his arm in first, and then the crate like goes on top of his head, and he's being dragged.
Yeah, so he's like he's pulling his arm in, and then you could see the other hand come down and grab his face and pull his whole body into this little crate. I was like, oh, that's horrifying. Because they even mentioned later in the story, where are the bodies going? Like, he's devouring everything.
Remember that same scene? You get that same red and blue too, if I remember right. So I know, and it shows up again, but yeah, it's
that's throughout the whole all the stories as well. But yes,
yeah,
it really makes the whole thing pop.
The shot of like the professor and the crate creature's eyes meeting is done perfectly. It's really good.
Oh, speaking of crate, it says on the crate, ship to Horlock University via Julia Carpenter. And this is probably just me speculating, but I'd like to believe it's like a nod to John Carpenter, but I don't know. I guess Julia
set the crate down.
Yeah, it's John. It's like a female version. Oh, Julia Carpenter, the feminine.
Me and
John
Kurt Russell caught this thing.
John Carpenter was married to Adrienne Barbeau, who plays the wife.
Oh, really? Oh, that makes so much sense. So I knew it wasn't crazy.
So he sent the crate down in the hopes that
he would kill his ex-wife.
Yeah.
That's an elaborate plan.
Yeah. I thought that maybe it could be another John Carpenter. I'm so glad I'm right now.
So our professor, he runs to Harry's house, who we see in the beginning. His wife is still berating him, just being a bitch.
Yeah, and she goes off for a bit.
Well, no, we get another fantasy scene of him choking her out.
Got to mention the other like professor who gets it, or like I don't know what his role was, but the other guy who's also in the building. He's
like a junior or whatever. Yeah, so he comes along and he gets killed too. Actually, the effect when he gets his face torn is really good.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
We can like level enough praise at the effects in this movie.
Oh, it's just I'll give Tom Savini. I'll give him props for his props.
Got him. Drum roll.
Yeah, but like Tom Savini really was like a master of just using like simple tricks and get like the best possible result.
Also, props to the midget that they put in the suit.
You want to talk about the creature design for our crate creature?
Well, it could not have been easy to move around in that thing because it looked really heavy.
So yeah, our main character goes to his other friend's house. He reveals the information.
Very sweaty. Looks like he's ran a mile. More than a mile.
Oh yeah, he looks like basically
death. No, not death, but he's over the place. Like he's kind of a bar fight.
Yeah, and then our other guy who wants to kill his wife finds out about this crate, and then
he said wife. More foreshadowing this episode. We said wife. We'll get to another wife in a bit.
Yeah. So Harry, after he gets all this information, he drugs the professor. And he goes to the college. He
calls up his wife first. Oh no, he leaves a note for his wife.
He writes a little note, and while he's at the college cleaning up, we get him narrating the note to his bitch wife. So she's reading it. She's like, "Oh God, he's such a loser." And basically, Harry says that the professor, he ever since his wife died, he's been like sleeping around with younger women and stuff. But this time, he beat this girl. So that's how he lures his wife in. He's like, "Yeah, you're the only one who can get her out from under the staircase and all this." And he plays it really cool until he just starts laughing because he's like, "I'm actually gonna do it. I'm gonna finally kill this bitch."
And pushes her in, my dad.
Well, he's like, "Yeah, she's under there. She's under there." She gets a little closer, and then he pushes her. I thought he was gonna like lock the gate behind her, kind of thing.
No, the
I thought
that was hit her.
Yeah, no. He starts banging her against the crate. He's like, "Get the fuck out here and kill her." And then he backs off, and then she starts talking shit to him again. How he's such a loser.
Drawn out thing.
Doing out for the entire tale.
And then the creature pops out, bites her neck, drags her
eventually,
in.
After 10 minutes, eventually pops out and just kills her, like babbling on forever. That's good. I mean, I appreciate the build up. I can say.
Yeah, it was pretty well done.
But then it's still not over, because then he's got to like lock the crate up again, which is still very tense as well.
Yeah, it was, and then we just see his little hands pop out and try and stop him.
I actually watched this segment more than I thought I would, because like the first 2 times I saw it, I thought this was like, I mean, like, because I love the third one so much, so like a follow up. I don't think I liked it like as much, but I really like this. I like this one a lot more than I thought I would with this rewatch.
I think this one has like the most complete story, though.
Well, this and 3. Because 3 and 4
5. So yeah,
well, it's a lot more complete than 5. Yeah.
We'll get to 5, but then I'll make after locking up the crate, it's revealed that he dumps it off a cliff into the ocean.
Into like a quarry kind of thing, basically just a valley with water running through it. Yeah. And then he's telling the professor about all this, and he's like, "What about the police?" He's like, "What about the police? I didn't do anything wrong." I was like, I love that he's like, "I didn't kill my wife." He technically didn't kill her. The creature did.
Mm.
You can't be an accomplice to mythical creature murder.
Little creature crate monster.
Yeah. But yeah, no, this one's really good.
Has have a great eerie ending of seeing the creature's
eyes.
The
effect on the creature popping out of the box is a little but it's still pretty
Jack in the Box like.
Yeah.
I like that as well. It's all adds to like the whole like schlocky tone to the comic book feel to the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, and then we get another cool comic book cut into tale number 5.
Number 5.
They're creeping up on you, Ethan.
It's a comic book. It's like the comic book. It shows a spider, and thankfully there's none in here. So I'm very happy about that. I wish it was
spiders instead of cockroaches.
Ethan had like a
please no
attack when he saw the
spider.
I
would. I can't. I didn't want to see a spider in a screen movie. I could hardly look at it. I have to look away for a second. I get so much bad anxiety when I see a trench warmer. It's like I can't. I'm so glad there's like no spiders at all in this movie.
I will take a picture of spider that I'd probably just have in my bathroom.
Please don't.
Put it at the end of this episode.
Well, yeah,
please don't.
Australia, you go to take a shower and there's like deadly poisonous spiders all over the
place. You know the scene in Coraline? It's like going through the house. She opens a shower. There's like a bunch of bugs in a shower. It's like it's a bathroom probably.
That's another day for me.
Yeah, the only note I wrote down for this one is just the word bugs.
Oh, I wrote my worst fucking nightmare because I can't stand cockroaches.
Okay, we don't really have cockroaches where I live because it's too cold for them.
It's actually funny you say you hate cockroaches. I wrote down this segment. It's basically my house was growing up in Memphis, Tennessee. We used to always get we used to always get cockroaches in our house. Like I saw them as like a kid, like in the hallway. So like I'm obviously
cockroach medic room.
Surprisingly not, but I should have. Yeah, I used to get cockroaches like in the hall. I remember I was in the bathroom. I was like too scared to go in the hallway because like a cockroach like near my bedroom. Like there was like cockroaches like in my house in Memphis, Tennessee when I was growing up. So it was like nothing other than ordinary for me of this segment.
Our main character in this, the businessman, he was actually really good. I liked how much of an asshole he was. Just to everybody.
Is like a complete scumbag.
he just doesn't care.
Also, just like the way he looks as well. He's wearing like gloves.
Upton Pratt, played by E.G. Marshall, who was also in 12 Angry Men. That's why he looked a little familiar to me. Yeah. He was juror number 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that's the racist juror.
No, that's number 4. That's number 10.
Oh.
I need to check this now.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Juror number 4 was also. I don't
remember. Like, yeah.
Because if it's juror number 4, then that's a complete transformation.
Yeah, he played juror number 4 in 12 Angry Men.
Oh, interesting.
That is considering how he is in that movie compared to this, where he's just.
He that's the guy with the glasses, right? The like really sophisticated fellow.
Number 4. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's best actor ever alive.
Yeah, if he could do like
what a transition.
And this Creepshow would have. Then yeah, E.G. Marshall was the greatest actor of all time. We're just saying it now.
Going from 12 Angry Men to his role in Creepshow, it can never be beat.
Oscar-worthy performances all around.
I like that little disposal thing he had. Little garbage.
I
was like, I wish I had one of those.
It comes back in later when all the cockroaches start climbing up out from it.
Oh yeah, the like really big ones start coming out of there. The big.
Also, they're real roaches as well. It's no like.
Oh yeah,
digital,
I would not have been able to do that.
It's real, like.
Is it just me? Sorry, is it just me, or was this like that's the thing you're talking about? How like the sucking thing that was really satisfying to me. Like everything was like that was like so satisfying to me. I don't know if that's just me, but like, everything that cockroach like just sucking it down.
Yeah,
because
he starts like throwing his little cum rags in there. And it's like,
yeah, that's exactly. It's like in Star Trek.
Like just look at the building as well. How it's just like all white and just basically
a metaphor for cum. Visually, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which is more like jarring when everything hits the fan and all the cockroaches start climbing out everywhere.
Well, even his descent into madness, he's like still blaming it on other people, like maids and like the building owner and like
denial.
Yeah. It's great, like especially when he gets a call from that widow, and he basically just tells her to fuck off. He's like, "I'd send him some flowers, but there's no point. He's dead." Just a massive prick.
Yeah, but it makes his comeuppance all the more sort of satisfying, even though it is gross and horrifying.
I liked his little panic room kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what I was about to get to that as well. The panic room that he has once all the cockroaches start coming up, and he's just like, to my roach-proof panic room. Which
and then they're all in the bed.
Such a scenario.
Nasty.
Yeah, that reveal as well. Just great.
Yeah, and like you said, real roaches. So, he dies, and then like all the roaches are in his body. But
then we get that.
Oh, that's the effects in the scene.
This was an awesome effect, but also a little unrealistic because they zoom in on his face too much, where you can tell it's a doll.
Yeah, you can tell.
I love that. Yeah,
works. Like,
when they zoomed in on the neck, it looked real, but when it was just like his face, you're like, oh, well, it's just a doll kind of thing.
Well,
so it took me out of
that. It's like almost like an experiment. It's like
if E.G. Marshall was this great actor that we say he is, he would have put a couple roaches in his mouth for the team.
But he would have had actual roaches coming out of his head.
Yeah,
in real life.
Yeah. They could have put like a little tube on him, and then when they did the splitting throat scene, it could have been him, and then have the blood spewing out, and then all the roaches pop out.
Yeah, but still, like on the subject of the dummy, I think it does work in a way. Like if it was any other movie, sure, maybe it might be a bit off. But considering like this is like obviously very like schlocky and comical again.
Well, The thing is, if it was made today, it would just be a shit CGI effect and wouldn't look good at all.
The whole movie, charm of the movie would be gone because, obviously it would.
That's one of the problems I have with the Shudder Creepshow is they use too much. They use a little too much CG for my liking.
I haven't seen.
I was gonna ask about that show. I was gonna ask about that show.
I watched a few episodes. They do use practical effects, but not to the extent that they should be using it if they want to keep it
real.
The original, yeah, it's just not the same.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet, but no, Dana Gould's episode, which is interesting.
The first story in that is also a little bit of rip off of Geordie's story, where this dad, he gets like an alien kind of parasite in him, and he can sustain himself with beer, and the kid gives him beer, and then he becomes a giant blue monster. It's just not good. It's not good storytelling.
I mean, the way you say that, I am a bit curious about it now.
Yeah.
I am absolutely too.
You guys would have to check it out.
I will. Opinions.
Yeah.
I do have a Shudder. I might actually get some use out of my Shudder account because the only other thing that I've only seen the only thing I've used my Shudder account for is probably watching the Lost George A. Romero film, The Amusement Park. And,
you didn't watch the Hellraisers on there?
Oh no, I watched those on Prime.
Oh, okay.
Actually, the Hellraisers aren't on Australian Shudder for some reason. There's barely.
It's weird because they're not on the Canadian Prime, but they're on the Canadian Shudder.
Honestly, I don't know how this streaming contracts.
I don't know how streaming rights works either. You think if the company gets the streaming rights, they can stream it in any country they want, but no, it's dictated by country. Is what a lot of work for the lawyers.
Especially here, Shudder here is basically barren. I think the only other two movies I watched on it were Rec 1 and Rec 2. It's not great here, just saying that.
Well, it's also what is it over there, $3 dues?
I haven't checked the price in a while. I don't know how much I'm paying for it. I think it's $6 maybe here. I don't know. I'm
50 Canada a year.
Ooh.
Which isn't too bad.
Anyway, we should wrap up Creepshow now.
There's a sequel, but I'm not seeing it.
There's 2 sequels.
Yes,
I was about to say, I always forget it's the third one.
Romero or King, so who cares?
I watched the second one.
They produced them. Let me check.
The second one I still watched, but the third one I'm not sure. I always forget the third one even exists. I'm I didn't believe people. When people told me it was the third Creepshow, I didn't believe them. I was oh, it's real.
Well, I mean, the thing is about it was so Creepshow 1 was 1982. Creepshow 2 was let me check again. 1987. A bit of a gap, but sequels back then there was always a bit of a gap. It wasn't like now where the next year
every 2 years.
This is why I don't know about Creepshow 3. Creepshow 3 came out in 2006.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
A good way after the fact.
So Creepshow final thoughts, like you were saying, Simon?
We got to talk about the wrap up of the whole thing. Back to the
there's a
wrap up where cameo from Tom Savini.
Garbage Man Tom Savini. Yeah,
we get a great cameo from Tom Savini.
Yeah.
Comic books. I like those.
Which I totally forgot about, by the way. I totally forgot he was in this.
I was as soon as he popped, I was yay, Tom Savini.
You always clap when you see Tom Savini in some, whether it's Dawn of the Dead. Or...
Dawn of the Dead, yeah.
Maniac.
He's actually a really good actor.
We're going to probably cover more Tom Savini stuff later on, just putting that out there.
Mm-hmm.
Most likely, yeah.
But our ending is
Tom Savini's looking through the comic book.
Well, no, the other garbage man, he picks up the comic book while they're and he yells at the garbage truck. He's like, "Chew your food." I was yeah, finally, garbage men with personalities. And then they start looking through the comic book and they're looking through the vouchers and stuff. He's like, "Oh, the voodoo doll one is already taken." And we cut back to Atkins, who's in. He's having his breakfast. He's like, "Oh, I don't feel good." He starts choking because the kid upstairs, he's poking him in the throat with the voodoo doll. Yeah.
Teach you to take away my comic books.
Yeah. Oh, fuck that kid. I wish he would slap him again.
Well, considering what happens at the end of Halloween 3, it's highly likely that kid, you know.
Good.
He gets it. He gets what's coming to him. Lucky, Silver Shamrock. There we go.
The best company.
Oh god, I wonder if they're getting inspired by like a true thing that like apparently happened. That'd be great. Something like that. As children,
But Halloween 3 was based on a true story.
Yeah.
I don't. If it was something like that, a bunch of children like dying like that, some like show, whatever, like something like that, something like a Silver Shamrock commercial. That'd be cool. It would be cool.
I know there was a thing for a little bit where like people would put razor blades and candy and stuff.
Yeah, but
I mean, sure, you get a whole bunch of Halloween series of like fucked up people doing things, but
I think Trick or Treat did that too.
Yes.
I mentioned that. Yeah.
I'm sure someone's already made a creepy pasta out of it by this point. But if you haven't, please make that. But it's something like Silver Shamrock. Well, you say the blaze and the candy and Halloween 2, they did that too.
Oh, yeah, that was a thing as well, even though that basically went nowhere.
It's so it's like a mom and a little girl. It's like obviously her bleeding. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a cool effect.
Yeah.
Because
So
Wrap
wrap it up.
Yep. I'm really glad y'all liked it. I love this movie. Really fun, really great anthology horror. Wesley Nelson is my hero, and yeah, y'all's final thoughts on Creepshow.
It's just weird seeing you enjoy a movie.
What? Oh my god, we've done
That is
Chosen
a David
25.
Lynch.
I say we've done Chosen 25. I did not enjoy that. Well, that was okay. It's okay. It's okay. I had more fun talking about it with y'all than actually watching it, which is like the same.
Watching it was a pain.
I meant for Heather's.
What?
I meant for Heather's. Yeah, I had more fun talking about it with y'all than actually watching it.
I enjoyed watching it more than talking to it with you because you.
Oh, thanks. I did like
it. Saw it. Yeah.
Okay, if that's the case, you would have to do chitter chatter.
Yeah, but Creepshow, we all highly recommend it. I think we all gave it a 4 out of 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Saw gave it a little heart.
Really.
I don't give anything. I don't give anything a heart on Letterboxd. So
Ethan doesn't give anything heart. Even his favorite movie of all time.
No.
He thinks that's gay. Which we'll get into.
Which ties in perfectly to our segment.
Oh, yes. Lots of foreshadowing here.
This is why I'm the host, boys.
Yeah.
Our next segment is this little short film that I found when I was just randomly searching on Letterboxd for random thing. I was like, Sean asked it. I was like, he let's see what else he's been in. Like,
yeah.
I was like, what is this? Ethan Coen, the forgotten Coen brother.
Well, you saw like the poster as well.
Yeah, I saw the poster. I was like, what is this? And I searched it up on YouTube to see if it was on there, and by golly, it was. The film is called My Wife is Retarded.
Yes, here we go. I thought half of this could be like a joke about his name.
No, it's the name of the movie. We can say it because we're talking about the film.
Yes, it's a movie. It's My Wife is Retarded. Don't be a retard, Saw. It's the name of the movie.
If you're in history class, you're not going to redact like the Holocaust or anything.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Did you just compare My Wife is Retarded to the Holocaust?
Why
not?
Yes, we did. Yeah, yes, we're doing this. Yes, we're here. We're doing.
Well, you didn't like this, and I did. So why not?
Well, I liked it too. I like I share my thoughts on it. I liked it too. Very much. Yes.
Finally.
Yes.
Ethan and Simon versus Sod.
Yes, it's happening. We're rising up.
Like
a real tag team.
He made us watch Trust in 25, so screw him anyway.
Yeah.
Am I right? Amen. Screw Sod.
This
episode.
This was made in 2007 by, as I
you can tell,
Ethan Coen. Yeah. Well,
yes.
Was a great year for cinema. Obviously, you had No Country for Old Men.
Debbie Blood.
Directed by the Coen brothers.
Oh, yeah. Very similar.
Ethan put this out in response to that. He's like, I'll show you.
You abandoned me.
Sorry, making cinema. He almost has my name too. What was his name? Etan Coen.
Etan. Ethan
Coen.
Just remove a letter. Yeah. Screw it.
Basically, Ian Coen.
So yeah, we have Sean Astin as the main, Gary Cole as the doctor, and Leslie Bibb as the retard.
Yes, there we go.
But it starts in the doctor's office, and honestly, it has some decent camera work.
What?
Well, it's something.
Way better camera work than 2025.
Well, I'll give it that. I'll give it that. I say yeah.
Like,
no, because
that's not even bottom of the barrel. Like 2025, we established was below the barrel. Like it's nothing.
Well, no, because Cole and Sean, they're talking about. He's like, yeah, your wife, she's retarded. He's like,
what?
What?
Yeah.
She's actually sitting there the whole time.
Oh yeah, I love like every scene. Yeah,
and then we finally get her, she's there. Like, what are you guys talking about?
Yeah, she's there like every time.
I love that it's like he gave her a bunch of tests, and he's like, yeah, for this one test, she just wrote cock 150 times. and then when we asked her to do this other test, she just said, no, that's gay.
Yes. Okay. The only note I wrote down for this was one line I loved. It's called. I said, "My retarded princess." That's the only line I wrote. My retarded princess.
That's a little later when our main character Jeff, Sean Astin, he goes and talks to the father of his wife. He's like, "Yeah, I knew she was retarded. I kept trying to tell you she was special."
It's like I was wrote down all the dialogue. It's like, it's so good. It wasn't written down, but it's like my retarded princess.
Yeah, it's so funny.
But the way it got
horrible. Like, I know that the word retard, and retarded is like a ableist slur or whatever they're using nowadays. But I feel the word has kind of evolved from actually referring to people with Down syndrome to like normal people who don't
people make too much Megamind.
Yeah. People listen to like Korean pop.
Yeah, BTS Army, yes.
Yeah, the BTS Army is retarded.
You want to keep account of how many times we're going to say retarded throughout this?
I'll make a whole compilation video. Yes, I'll get us.
When you're editing, just put like a 1 ding. 2 ding, 3 ding.
Also, don't forget, while you're editing, when I talk about Crispin Glover dancing, put a GIF of that like on the screen. Crispin Glover dancing, please.
This is gonna be the hardest episode you've ever had to edit.
Yeah, thanks.
It's gonna be a challenge. Yes. Well, that's what you get from it. So it's 2025. The Weasley brothers. So say it's fair.
It was the Wesley brothers.
I don't care.
Weasley.
I don't want to compare them to a Harry Potter character. That's giving them way too much credit.
I mean, he does look a bit like Harry
Potter. He looks like Hogwarts.
He was fucking Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But so back to the short, which is it's such a strange short overall.
I don't know why it got made in the first place, but I'm kind of glad it did.
Interesting for the fact that it exists. That's probably the highest level of praise I can give it.
When I first found it and shared it with you guys, it was kind of like, what the hell is this? And I watched it right away. I was like, you guys gotta watch this. And then when we started doing the podcast, I was like, finally, my time.
So why Sean Astin in this? It's interesting. I'm glad he did, because like this one scene.
The only thing I can think of is he's friends with Ethan Coen.
Okay, yeah. Well, what surprised me?
Ethan Coen paid them out of his own pocket to be in this. Because the thing is, Ethan Coen, he's only directed 3 things. He's directed this, the fucking Watson and Holmes movie, which sucks, and another movie that sucks, Get Hard.
With Kevin Hart. Oh, isn't he so fun?
Do you think this was like his passion project?
It must have been, because it does come full circle with the last episode, because he wrote Madagascar 2.
Oh, yes. Oh. He did, yes.
He was one of the writers on Madagascar 2.
At least he did do something good then.
That's true.
Thunder. He was one of the writers on Tropic Thunder.
It makes sense he would write that, yeah.
Why do you not like Tropic Thunder?
Okay, if I ever rewatch it, we'll do a whole episode on it, okay?
Okay, fair enough.
Yes.
Okay,
so
so after the freaking hospital scene where he gets told his wife is retarded, he gets handed this really funny pamphlet where the word retarded, the R is backwards.
Yeah.
That killed me. Like, I don't know why, but it was just really dumb, and I thought it was funny.
It's not the funniest scene for me, but this one scene in particular, which I feel like you're about to get to, that, yeah, it's incredible.
Well, we get like a montage of her like being retarded in quotes.
That's true.
But it's like pull my finger, hot, too late, and then she like shits in his face. And then like he's there with his friends.
Oh yeah, his friends are like so
cool,
embarrassed.
Bro.
Yeah.
Not cool, bro.
He gets so worked up over it, yeah.
And he's like, "Well, yeah, I started to notice she was retarded." It's like, oh, the new Ben Affleck movie came.
What's the new Ben Affleck movie? Yeah, we get the new Ben Affleck.
And then she's like, "Oh, Dane Cook is in town." I made like your Sod's thoughts about this.
I know, talk. I know, please talk. Yeah.
The problem is, like, there's not really much to say. Like, even though I gave this like a 2 out of 5, like, I didn't hate this. It's just so like nothing. I would say I didn't really laugh. I didn't really get upset by it. I didn't feel like my time was wasted because it was so short. It was just like, okay, I watched that. I'm gonna move on with my life now.
Okay, well, maybe more people agree with you because me and some of our 10-year-olds apparently find this shit funny. So,
yeah, you are both children compared to me.
Basically, yeah.
I'm a higher being. I am the universe compared to you two.
And you did the big boy editing because we sent a 2 in-depth, technically in-depth, to do the editing for the show.
Yeah. Well, so he goes to see his dad. This is Ethan's favorite scene here.
Yes.
My little retarded princess.
Well, no, it's not my favorite, but it's really great. It's a love. I think my second.
Yeah, it's not my favorite scene. Comes right after this.
Yeah, so, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's my favorite scene too.
He does say something. Like there is like some weird inspirational stuff behind this. He tells him like you like in a relationship, no matter what, you have to take the good with the bad kind of thing. I was like, oh, all right, yeah, fair enough. And
are you analyzing the theme of my wife?
Yes, I am, because that's what we do here. We analyze and we discuss.
Yes, but Ethan Coen, the Ross Coen brother.
We're looking for the deeper meaning behind my wife is retarded.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then his wife pops out and she's like, Leslie, I'm gonna go see the new Ben Affleck movie. And she's behind them while they're talking the whole time, like playing with shears, and she throws them on the ground and runs to go see the movie.
Yeah, when she runs with the shove the shears down and runs. Yeah, when she does that, so good.
Whips out of the camera's like zone as fast as she could.
This actress, Leslie Bibb, she really acted herself in this one, because my God.
She went hard. So then
she really did.
He's like, so Sean Astin, he's just like, oh, what should I do? And he goes to a movie store.
Here we go. Yes, it is. Here we go.
He goes to like a Blockbuster, right?
And yes, back with the wife.
And he's like, my wife, she's retarded. And he looks up, and it's just the word. Well, he's looking around. It's like,
how does that work though? It's like new, because it's revealed to be later. It says new releases. So that how do you mistake that for?
Well, no,
retarded?
Because he's looking down at the releases and he sees like Forrest Gump, like Iron Sam, and like Rayman or whatever. Yeah. And then he looks up and it's just the word retarded. He's like, is this funny? Is this funny?
It's retarded. My wife is retarded. Yeah.
My wife is retarded. He just starts screaming that to everybody, and then he looks back up and it just says new releases.
I think it would have been, if you wanted to do that, like make it funny, like you would like have it like maybe show it in like a clever way, just like maybe have like some of the words cut off so he just assumes or something.
No, it was funny though.
Very funny. I was laughing. Yeah, it was very
great.
Funny.
He also whips a bunch of the DVDs on the ground.
Yeah, Sean Astin's very powerful performance. It even beats Goonies.
Yeah, when he looks at the Forrest Gump thing, it's also like it's a callback to later on in the doctor's office. He's like, people like to fantasize being with somebody retarded, like in the film Forrest Gump. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, whoever fantasized about that?
I think that's interesting. A real thing.
I hope not, but who knows?
It's interesting.
You never know. It probably is.
It's done by Ethan Coen, who did this. Then a year later, he directed. He wrote Tropic Thunder, and you get that line, "Oh, you never go full retard." It's a very
exactly. It all comes full circle.
It all comes together. Yeah, it's passion project.
He must have wrote that part. He must.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he absolutely did. That part.
He must have wrote the whole like Simple Jack subplot.
Yeah, that is a whole bit. It's definitely like some things like now that I've seen this, they're like, oh, that's what he did in Tropic Thunder. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So it sounds like, oh god.
Yeah, it's just not even to be done so bad.
Silence.
So, it turns out that Sean Astin actually did pick up a movie.
Oh yeah.
He comes back to his wife. She hugs him, and she drew him this stupid drawing of like him and her watching football, and then he's like, "Yeah, after that, we're gonna fuck."
Yes, I thought she said so much with her description, like what she drew. Like I didn't write it down, but it's so much. That I forget.
Well, and then he's like, "Oh, it's our anniversary." She's like, "Oh, is that today? Whatever." He's like, "Oh yeah," and then he hands her a movie, and it's fucking Pearl Harbor.
Michael, that's the Ben Affleck movie of them all. Not Good Will Hunting. It's Pearl Harbor. Michael Bay. This makes sense, you know.
I was like, oh god, she is retarded.
I think
he actually has a really good line when they're on the couch, though. He says, "Why should being happy be a disease?"
That's what I told Saad. It's so deep. It's very beautiful.
It is deep.
You gotta get like a poster of that framed and hang out on your walls now, so you can look at it. I would like that.
Yeah. I wake up this morning that above my TV, I see my wife is retarded. It makes me feel better of myself.
But you just want the poster framed with the Comic Sans and.
I honestly really like this just because how stupid it was. And it also could be the thing in me of like not giving a crap about PC culture and how this didn't age well, yada yada.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like when this came out, I feel like everybody laughed at it, but then obviously, of course, he did Tropic Thunder afterwards, and people loved. But I mean, now
I saw this when this came out.
No, you don't know that, Sean. You don't know that. I think online on YouTube, at least, people saw it in 2007.
It has the Gary Cole.
Yeah, it's Gary Cole, Sean Astin. It's like people. Leslie Babb was like in other movies at the time. Yeah, it's not nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the average on Letterboxd it's like all over the place now.
By Tony Stark in the Iron Man films.
Oh yeah, Iron Man. That's why. She was an Iron Man. Yeah.
She also gets murdered in the beginning of Trick or Treat.
Oh, that was her. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Taking down the decorations. Yeah.
Oh, that was her. Same year, 2007 too. Trick or Treat 2007.
Yeah. She's also like the hot wife in Talladega Nights.
I've never seen it, but another Will Ferrell kind of Ethan Coen type of comedy, yeah.
Ethan Coen type of comedy.
I can't wait to direct movies. Like I would direct a sequel to this movie.
You should totally just your stage name will be Coen.
Yeah.
I could have 4 Coen brothers.
Finally.
Yeah, it's the Coen brothers we need.
Starting a stable here, boys.
Well, I could get my brother to direct with me. It's just change his name to his first name as a J.
Does he have his mineral water on?
Just become Joe and Ethan. Just become clones. Impersonators.
No province for young men.
Yeah. The big Alberta. Oh, the big Nebraska. Or the big Nebraska. I totally like that.
The big Nebraska.
Yes.
Outside Llewellyn Davis.
Yeah.
Get on this blazing.
I will. That's what I'm saying. Me and my brother are directing cinema. Look for that Blazing Vlogs 2022. Look for that.
You'll be more like the Coen who directed Garfield.
Oh my god! Yeah, that's. Oh Jesus Christ! Yeah.
Look at Bill Murray then, if that's the case.
That's true. I could get a Wes Anderson, Bill Murray. Yeah. So this is a really good short. I enjoyed myself. I can't lie. I laughed.
It's good stuff. Like I know Sod felt like his time was wasted, but I can't wait for the new Coen team to direct Near Go.
Near Go. I don't think that has the same what's the saying flair to it as Fargo.
Oh sister, where art thee?
I'd probably give this like a 3.5 out of 5 probably. I enjoyed it. Like the video rental store, like that's what definitely bumped up for me. That's the scene. My God.
Well, there was also a scene where the doctor calls. He's like, "There's an experimental like surgery we can do and stuff to make her not retarded," and he just hangs up on him.
Oh yeah. Well, the return princess scene, obviously.
That's sweet.
Yes. More story.
Really
love who you love.
Simon's heartstrings.
Part of mine too. What are you talking about? It's
just cinema.
It really touched you a lot. It really touched you a lot.
It's the greatest Coen film ever made.
I wish we talked about this more than Creepshow, which is great.
I mean, with good reason, because
but I say this is E10 Coen we're talking about.
Yeah, the E10 Coen.
Yes.
Sod, what was your
this movie? Just saying this.
So it gets a 2 out of 5 from Sod. So Roger Ebert, 2 thumbs down because he's a hack. Sod. I'm not talking about Ebert. I'm talking about Sod. Sod is a hack.
Yeah, he's the reincarnation of Mr. Siskel and Mr. Ebert in one body. You're like the Siskel and Ebert that they make fun of in the Godzilla film.
Jeez.
I wish I got that reference.
Watch Godzilla then.
Which one is it?
Pick?
The first American one, the 98 one.
Oh, that one.
Film, whatever his name is.
The mayor and like the mayor's aide. That's supposed to be Siskel and Ebert.
They show up in the movie at one point, don't they?
No, I don't recall.
I'm pretty sure they do. I'm very sure they do.
No, because Siskel and Ebert didn't like the directors. They really.
No, I think they actually did show up. Just let me check. I think they did. I'm not imagining this. I know they showed up in it at some point.
We're babbling. Creepshow, My First Retarded. Y'all got anything more to say?
I liked them both a lot.
Creepshow, I love. My Wife is Retarded. I enjoyed myself.
Yeah.
Creepshow, very great. My wife is redacted. No.
My wife.
Oh well, can't be it for everyone. Oh, I was gonna make a joke too. Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
I've already got to take a piss too, so please end it.
We probably won't see you next time. Have a good one, everybody.